Hello friends, I am Rasmita Jena, lecturer in Computer Science, UN Autonomous College of Science and Technology, Oraspur, Cuttack. So in this video lecture, I am going to discuss on data modeling using entity relationship model. In this video lecture, what I will be discussed. First part is your data model using high level conceptual model for database design, and these are the subpoints of conceptual model. And second one is your data model using entity relationship model. In conceptual data model, we will be discuss what is the requirement collection and data analysis, what is functional analysis, conceptual design, logical design, data model mapping. And in data model using entity relationship model, we will be discuss what is entity, what is attribute, what is different types of attribute and relationship and their types. So this is your using high level conceptual data model for database design. These are the steps how we can design a database and what is the requirement to design a database. First point is your requirement collection and analysis, that is the data requirement. Second one is your conceptual design, that is in high level data model how the conceptual schema is designed, and third point is your logical design, that is your data model mapping. Fourth one is your physical design. In parallelly, we can discuss what is functional analysis, then application program design and transaction implementation. So this is your high level conceptual model different steps. First step is your requirement collection and data analysis. So requirement collection and data analysis means in this step the database designer is trying to collect what the actual user required for design the database, or what is the main perspective of designing a particular database. In this step, during this step, the database designer interview prospective database users to understand and document the data requirement, or you may say what the actual user requirement, and the user requirement should be specified in a details or a complete form as possible. In parallelly, we can discuss also what is the functional analysis. Function analysis means what? The user defined operations in the database. That means that includes the retrieval and update operations in the database. You can see the functional analysis in parallel with specifying data requirement, it is useful to specify the known functional requirement of the application. That means this consists of the user defined operations, or you may say the transactions. The transaction included the retrieval and update operations in the database. This is the next step of the conceptual data model, that is your conceptual design. In conceptual design, first you have to create a conceptual schema for the database. Then using high level conceptual data model, we have to design the conceptual schema, and that is called as the conceptual design. And this conceptual design phase describes the data requirement of the user and include detailed description of entity types, relationship and constraints. In high level conceptual schema can also be used as reference to ensure that all users data requirement are met and that the requirement do not conflict. That means in conceptual schema it will meet the user requirement, and according to the user requirement it will be designed and it should not be create any conflict. Then this approach enables the database designer to concentrate on specifying properties of the data without being concerned with the storage and implementation details. That means it does not affect to the physical storage system. This is your logical design and data modeling mapping. In this next step, the database design is the actual implementation of database using commercial DBMS, and the most current commercial DBMS use an implementation of data model such as the relational or object relational database model. And this logical design or data model mapping is often automated or semi-automated. Physical and application design. Physical design, this is the last step of conceptual data model for designing a database. The last step is the physical design phase, and during which the internal storage structure, file organization, indexes, access path and physical design parameters for the database file are specified. That means, in this physical designing phase, the file organization method, that means the file will be organized in a sequential method or in a random methods, or what is the internal storage structure of the file, then next indexes and access path, and what is the physical design parameters that are the specified in the physical design phase. In parallelly, the application design phase is what? That application program are designed and implemented as database transaction corresponding to high level transaction specification. Then next we have to discuss data modeling using entity relationship model. So, first we have to know what is entity relationship model, or it is known as ER model. Entity relationship model means what? It is a high level data model, right. This model is used to define data element and relationship in a pictorial form, and that pictorial representation of data and relationship is called as the entity relationship model or ER model. This is the classification of ER model. You can see the ER model is classified into three categories, that is entity, attribute and relation. The entity is again classified as weak entity and strong entity, and attribute is classified as follows, that is key attribute, composite attribute, multi-valued attribute, derived attribute, etc. And again the relation is classified into one to one, one to many, many to one and many to many. First we have to know what is entity, what are the different types of entity. In the previous video lecture, I already explained you about entity. So, entity is what? Entity is a real time object having some logical or physical existence. Here we can take one example. So, this is one example, that is entity, and the entity is represented by using the rectangle symbol. You can also explain the conceptual existence and physical existence is what? Conceptual physical existence means that a particular person, car, house or employee, or it may have some conceptual existence. Conceptual existence means a company, a job, a university course, etc. So, here I will give an example about entity, that is student is an entity, teacher is an entity, and I already explained you about attribute. Attribute is what? That is the properties or characteristics of entity which is used to define an entity. So, property and characteristics means what? A student having some property, that is name, role, mark, and using this property we can define a particular student or we can define a particular entity. So, this is, you can see the picture, this is the example how entity and attribute are represented in ER model. Entity are represented by using rectangle symbol and attribute are represented by using the oval symbol. Here student is the entity and these are the attribute of the student entity, that is name, address, ID and age, which are represented by using the oval symbol. Next we have to know what are the different types of attribute. Types of attribute, first we have to discuss what is the difference between composite and simple attribute. So, composite attribute is what? Those attributes can further subdivided into number of attributes are called as the composite attribute, or it can be divided into smaller subparts, that is called composite attribute. Here we can take one example. So, name is a composite attribute. Why? Now, because name can subdivide into first name, middle name, last name. Here we can also give another example, that is address. So, address can divided into street name, street number, pin number. That is why address is also a composite attribute. Then what is simple attribute? Simple attribute that are not divided into subparts or that not divided into further are called as the simple attribute. That is, your first name is the simple attribute because first name cannot be further subdivided. So, this is the difference between composite attribute and simple attribute. In very short, composite attribute can divide into subparts and simple attribute cannot divide it into subpart. Name is your composite attribute and first name is your simple attribute. So, this is your what is the difference between single valued versus multi-valued attribute. First we have to know what is multi-valued attribute and what is single valued attribute, then we will be differentiate. Next type is your single valued versus multi-valued attribute. Single valued attribute is what? An attribute have a single value for a particular entity. That means suppose if student is the entity and age be a single valued attribute. Why? Because the student having only one value for age attribute. And next we have to know what is multi-valued attribute. Multi-valued attribute is what? An attribute can have more than one value for a particular entity, that is called multi-valued attribute. You can explain with an example. Suppose hobby is one of the attribute of student entity. A student hobby may be playing cricket, listening music. That means the hobby attribute contain more than one value for a particular student. Similarly, phone number attribute of a student entity may contain more than one value, but because we know a student has more than one phone number. And multi-valued attributes are represented by using double oval symbol. You can see in the picture in your ER diagram. So, what is the difference between single valued and multi-valued attribute? Single value attribute contain one value for a particular entity and multi-valued attribute contain more than one value for a particular entity. Then next type of attribute is, that is your stored attribute and derived attribute, or stored versus derived attribute. So, stored attribute is what and derived attribute is what? A derived attribute is one whose value is dynamic and derived from another attribute. And stored attribute is what? Some attribute value can derivable from related attribute, that is called stored attribute. And these two are explained by giving one example. Suppose here I am giving one example, a student having attribute date of birth and having attribute age. Here the age attribute value of a student are derived from date of birth attribute value. So, in this case the age is the derived attribute. Why? Now, because the age attribute value is derived from date of birth attribute and date of birth is the stored attribute. Date of birth and age both are related with each other. Next type is your null attribute and complex attribute. Null attribute and complex attribute is what? When a particular entity may not have an applicable value for an attribute or it is unknown, right. When a particular attribute value for an entity is unknown or not applicable, in that case you have to use a special value for that attribute, that is called null value, and that attribute is called as null valued attribute. Then we have to know what is complex attribute. Complex attribute is what? The composite and multi-value attribute can be nested arbitrarily and can represented arbitrary nesting by grouping the component of composite attribute between parentheses and separating the component with commas, and by displaying multi-valued attribute between braces is such type of attributes are called complex attribute. You can see the example here, address and phone number, address underscore phone number is a complex attribute. The phone number is the area containing area code and phone number, address containing street address, and the street address contain number, street number, apartment number, city, state and zip code, right. So, this is all about your different types of attribute and the difference between single attribute, multi-valued attribute, derived attribute and stored attribute. I can say the derived attributes are represented by the dotted oval symbol in ER diagram, and the stored attribute are represent in simple attribute representation in ER model. Next we have to discuss what is the relationship and what are the different types of relationship. So, relationship is what? A relationship is used to describe the relation between two entities or in between two objects, that is called relationship. And the relationship are used to represent in a diamond or rhombus symbol in the ER diagram. There are 4 different types of relationships are used in the ER model to represent the data, that is one to one relationship, one to many, many to one and many to many. First we have to know what is one to one relationship. So, one to one relationship is what? When only one instance of entity is associated with relationship, then it is known as one to one relationship. So, it can be explained by using one example. Here I will give one example, that is employee and department are the two entity and the relationship between employee and entity is managers. It is called one to one relationship. Why? Now, one employee can be a manager of one department. So, that is called as one to one relationship. That means here one entity, that means one instance of employee is associated with the manager's relationship to form a relationship with the department entity. That is why it is called a one to one relationship. The next type is your one to many. When only one instance of entity on the left and more than one instance of entity on the right is associated with the relationship, then it is called one to many. That means one instance of entity on the left and more than one instance of entity on the right is associated with the relationship, then that is called one to many relationship. It can also explain by using one example. Here I will take one entity, that is scientist entity, and next entity is your innovation entity, and the relationship is invent, right. You know, one scientist can invent more than one innovations. That means here scientist, one instance of scientist take relation with invent with more than one instance of invention. So, this relationship is called one to many relationship. Next type is your many to one. Many to one relationship means when more than one instance of entity on left and only one instance of entity in right are participate in a relationship, then that is called many to one relationship. That means many number of, that means more than one employee can be work for a particular department. You can see the example here, employee entity, that means more than one employee can work for a particular department. So, the relationship between employee and department here is the many to one relationship. Next type is your many to many relationship. So, many to many type relationship means when more than one instance of entity on left and more than one instance of entity on the right are associated with a relationship type, then that is called many to many relationship. Here I take employee entity and project entity. That means more than one employee can work on a particular project or more than one project can be done by more than one employee. So, the relationship between employee and project in this case is many to many. Employee can assign by many projects and the project can have many employees. So, this is all about your data modeling using conceptual data model, data modeling using entity relationship data model. I hope student you get knowledge on this. Thank you. Have a nice day.